Welcome to my workshop. Today we're making wooden holdfasts. Now, to be absolutely honest with you, I have never owned one. Usually they are made from metal, and it will be the first time for me to use this type of clamp, so I'm curious if a wooden version will actually work at all. But hey, why not experiment and see if we can make something out of scrap wood lying about in our workshops that actually works and could be quite handy. And best of all, for this project, you're actually not gonna need too much materials. First of all, well, we're gonna need some dowels that will go into the holes of our MFT style tabletop or a workbench with some holes that are in the top. Now the dowels need to be the same diameter as the holes in our workbench, and I actually made these on a router table. If you're not sure how to do that, I'm going to drop a link to a video I made about that process. So we need some dowels. Secondly, you're definitely going to need a piece of hardwood, okay? And the dowels, they need to be from hardwood as well. Don't use softwood, it's just not going to work. These dowels are made from beech, and this is a glue up of different kinds of hardwoods. And to be fair, I actually just found these pieces in my workshop as I was cleaning out, and I thought this would be an absolutely perfect project to utilize them. Now, what are the sizes here? We've got 3 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. Lengthwise, I'm thinking 18 centimeters should be just fine, and I'm going to saw that out on my table saw sled. And at the same time, I can cut the dowels to the right sizes, and in my case that's going to be 23 centimeters. With all the pieces cut to the right sizes, now we can think about giving a nice shape to the heads of our clamps. You don't have to do that, you can just have them plain and simple. However, I'm gonna give it my best shot to give them a nicer look. And as you've seen, the first thing I was doing actually was making sure that the dowel will be in the correct position. With the position of the dowel established, the rest of the drawing will be done only on one of these pieces. I'm going to cut that one piece out, refine the shape, and when I'm happy with it, then I'm going to put it against the second piece, trace it out, and basically copy the design. Okay, now I'm going to try to cut this out on my bandsaw. Okay, with this general shape put out, I'm just going to take it to my sander to refine this further. Alright, so that's the shape I'm going to have. That's going to be the front. Over here we're going to have the dowel coming through, and I'm quite happy with that. Later on, obviously, I'm going to sand it down, round off the edges so it's nice and clear. However, now I'm just going to trace it on the other piece, cut it out on my bandsaw, and again sand it off, refine it on my sander. Okay, now we need to connect both of the pieces together, the dowel and the top of our clamp. Now it needs to be on a slight angle, probably about 7 degrees, that should be about right. To make the hole, I'm using 20mm Forstner bit as it's the exact diameter as my dowel. And as you can see, I'm using a piece of plywood that's 10mm in thickness to raise the base of the clamp itself, and I'm pre-drilling from the top to achieve the correct angle and the way the dowel should go in through the top of our clamp. And there you go, that's one sorted and one more to go. Okay, we've got our pieces, the jaw and the dowel, and we need to glue it together. Apart from the glue at the back of the clamp, I'm actually going to pre-drill and drive in a screw just to make sure everything's nice and stable, and actually it will act a little bit as a clamp holding everything together as the glue sets. With the glue now set, we can just clean up the clamps from the glue up, break the edges with a bit of sandpaper, give everything a nice clean sand, and more or less the clamps will be almost ready. Now, one little extra thing I want to add to these clamps, to this part of the jaw here, is a piece of rubber. Now in my case it's 6mm in thickness. It's a little bit too thick, but I don't have anything thinner. Probably about 2-3mm would be best. However, as I said, that's what I've got, that's what I'm going to be using. So I just want to add just a bit to help increase the grip capabilities of this clamp. And I'm going to use some C8 glue to attach the rubber. And now what's left to do is to apply a bit of finish of your choice. For me, it's furniture wax. And here they are. I think they came out really nice. But it's not about the looks, it's about, well, do they actually work? Let's try it out. Let's say I want to clamp down this piece of timber to my workbench. Well, I have to say, this is better than I thought. It is really solid. That's quite good. Now, how will I take these out? Not bad at all. Let's try a different type of a board. Something that's not so thick. Let's have a look if the clamps will handle that. Tell you what, no issues at all. I think this is going to be my favourite clamp. Well, tell you what, they look really cool, they came out really nice, and they work absolutely fantastic. To be absolutely honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised how well they actually work and how much clamping force they give. And you know, the combination of hardwoods seems to be working here just fine. The thickness of the clamps seems to be working just fine. No issues with that, no flexing, no sounds of breaking timber. I'm actually quite impressed with these, I have to say. And to be absolutely honest with you, I thought this video will be showing a fail attempt on making these. But there you go, they actually work better than I imagined. So if you do have a workbench that's similar to mine, i.e. it has holes in it, and you don't have the metal versions of these or iron versions of whatever they're made of, this is actually a very good solution. Although you need to use some really solid hardwoods. Forget about pine, forget about softwoods, that will definitely not work. All about hardwoods. So guys, no excuses. If you've got a bit of hardwood lying about in your workshops, make these. They are really good. But don't go just yet. I've got a couple of playlists just over here with some really cool videos, workshop upgrades and everything in between. Click on those and maybe you'll find your next video there to watch. But for today, that's all. Thank you very much. Take care.